You're listening to Let's Grow Together podcast.
Forever and ever, we'll make it, we grow together.
Hey, welcome to the 9th episode of Let's Grow Together podcast. This is James Gilmore. I'm by myself on this podcast episode. I just wanted to do a special, important episode talking about, directly. It's talking, directly towards to especially black males, African American males, about us. The title is, we need each other to succeed. That's going to be my, theme for this episode, because I see that, we have a lot of pride, we have a lot of ego, and we need each other to succeed in life. We see all these other nationalities, ethnicities, they always often sticking together and they achieving great things. And we often see in our African American society how we are falling apart because we don't stick together. It's an important scripture in the Bible that talks about that. If you read Psalms 133, it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." So if you think about that scripture, when God, the Most High God, He sees these things, He's pleased with it, and He blesses those things. And just going back to what I was saying, we have to work together. I often see like the other ethnicities. If you think about how Apple computers were created, these different Caucasian guys that came together, Steve Jobs and all these other guys, and they created something so monumental in the technology world that it, changed society. Apple iPhones, MacBooks, iPads. So we have to think about those things as African Americans. We often feel like we can't do the same things these other nationalities do, but we're good or even better than what they can do. So we have to really tap into each other, our weaknesses and our strengths, and lift each other up. Like it says that it is strength in numbers. So we have to remember those things when we come encounter with each other, that we don't put each other down, that we don't be intimidating each other, and lift each other up. Because I might have a weakness in an area and you might have a strength in one area, and we have to switch those resources, our strengths, so we can lift each other up and make each other strong in those areas. I often think about everybody know Michael Jordan. He was a strong offensive player, and he had to strengthen up his defense. And so he tapped into other people's resources. He tapped into other people's strengths, and worked with other people on those things. And one year he became, I don't know if it was one or more years, he became the top defensive player of the year. So we have to, really help each other out. He didn't win all those championships by himself. He had a group of men around him, a group of basketball players around him, for him to win those 6 rings. So we have to think about that, because you can never really succeed without somebody else to help you, to push you to your destiny. And we often have to think about our approach to others, the way we communicate with each other, especially as African American males, that we don't come off as arrogant, we don't come off as too proudful, that we can be confident but not arrogant. And so we have to come with a humble spirit to each other and say, hey, I need help with this, I need help with that. You good in this area, I'm good in this area, so let's just put our ideas together and create a common goal. I often think about myself with producing and songwriting. I'm at a point in my producing and songwriting where I'm really looking for people who I can collaborate with as far as music. Somebody might be good at drums on tracks, drum programming. I might be good at melody, so we can really help each other out, so we can create good songs, timeless songs. So we have to think about those things so we can tap each other's resources in those areas, and and we can help each other out. It's not just me succeeding, it's the other person that is working along with you that is succeeding as well. So we can't think about ourselves, me, myself, and I. We have to think of it as a collaborative effort for each other, because that's a problem. We often get into things and say, oh, what's in it for me, instead of thinking about the common goal and common interest. And we have to be a united front in things. And also, you're not always going to agree with things, working with other people, but you have to compromise. That's the same thing as being in a relationship. You have to compromise. You're not just going to give up on a relationship just because somebody said the wrong thing to you. You have to stick through it, and that relationship gets better as you learn from your disagreements, learn from your mistakes, learn from your approaches to other people. So it's a lot that goes into that. I just thought I'd do this because we have a lot of people, even in the church.
This podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place. You can use it on your phone or your computer. The app has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. You will then be allowed to have your podcast on every platform there is: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Make sure you download the app today.
Society, we don't stick together, we don't work together for a common goal, a common success in our community. So we have to really work on those things, because we have to really give it up to our females, like our African American females. They really stick together. When one person is down, one lady is down, the other one lift them up. They work together. My wife, she look at a lot of things with herbal products, hair products, and you see these companies, these females, they start these companies and they have a whole lab of females working with them, and they working together for a common goal. And it's hard to find men that will work together in that same way. It's rare to find. So we have to think about those things. I often think about when we talking about men working together. I often think about when Louis Farrakhan, he tried to do the Million Man March, and he was thinking that this thing will help us unite together as a united front, the Million Man March. But it did work, but we still have problems working together. Like I said, it's a pride thing. So we need to start today, not tomorrow, but we have to start today working with each other in a collaborative effort and for us to move forward. We can't think about our past, we can't think about the oppression that we've been through. We have to push forward to create our own freedom and liberty in our own society and be successful. We see, like I said, we see all these other ethnicities. They're succeeding. They're making wealth for their families. They're making wealth for their generations to come. And we're sitting here, we just, we going around to woman, we having babies and stuff like that. It's time for us to step up. I know I'm stepping on a lot of people's toes, but we as African American males, we have to step up and really be men and really work together with positivity, not negativity, not doing things that will lead you in jail, but working together on something good, something positive that will change our communities, that will be a light to these young men that's coming up, because they need examples. So we have to work together not to do anything bad, anything envious, anything evil, anything that will lead us in jail, but we have to do things that will help our society succeed. Because you look at society, we in projects and stuff like that. We have to think outside those areas, and we have to help each other get out of those situations, that we can live like the other ethnicity. We can live in houses that we own. We can have ownership. We have to think outside the box. We have to once we succeed, we have to reach back into our communities and help them out. So we have to think about those things. I really want to talk about this because me being an African American male, it really gets to me that we're so smart as men, we're so intelligent, but we won't stick together and create a united front. How powerful we would be if we work together in unity. And who cares if the other people they become jealous, or they become why they together. They often hate to see us work together, but we have to stick together as African American males. I was thinking about like the movie directors. I know y'all heard about Tyler Perry and Spike Lee back and forth, going at each other. They should work together. Maybe they can create a movie together that will, break box office history. So it's even in, black men that's wealthy. They, it's so much ego, so much envy against each other, and we not working together to create one common goal. So that's what I basically wanted to talk about in this podcast. We have a lot of good content coming up. Our guest coming up, he's a college graduate. We just want to talk to him, see his point of view on being a graduate, and really encouraging our young men to really want to go to college and further their education. Because he discussed to me, at first he wasn't really into going to college, but people encourage him to moving forward into going into college. So we have him coming up. He also into political things, so we want to talk to him about that. So we have a lot of good content coming up, but this is a good episode that I'm talking about. It's very important for our African American males to really stick together, to walk together in love. Love is not always, just, good love. You have love that really chastise each other, not in a bad way, but just to lift each other up. You call it creative criticism, but we just have to work together and love, not put each other down, help each other, lift each other up, so we can reach our destiny, our goals, our dreams, our passions, to create our own freedoms. So I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Grow Together podcast. This is James Gilmore. And once again, thank you for all the support that y'all have been showing throughout our podcast. We promise to give you good content. On every episode, we try to think about good topics that our people need to listen to. That's why we call it Let's Grow Together, so we can lift each other up and we can help each other out, so we can really succeed in life. And feel free to comment if you have any topics you want to talk about. Please feel free to contact us on our Facebook page, Let's Grow Together podcast. And we are currently working on our website, so you can visit that as well to listen to our content, our episodes. So just feel free to join our community, support us, like I said, comment, and just thank you for everything y'all have done to support us, your likes, your messages, your encouragement. And this has been the 9th episode, and I thank you once again. All right, thank you. Peace.